2-1. They end a 6-game losing streak and in Tampa Bay 6-game winning streak. Way to go, Ty France.
That's the way you finish up a ball game on Mother's Day. Ty with a clutch hit right there to drive in a run. This place is going nuts.
Hey, Mare fans. Welcome back to another episode of Monday Mojo. We got Shohei Ohtani with us today. And I don't mean Shohei Ohtani, the pitcher, but we got our boy, EPUP, Baseline Baron, Evan Baron, pulling a Shohei Ohtani because he's doing not only the producing, but he's co-hosting today's episode because our boys, Max and Zweifel, both of them are in Mexico, but they're not together. They're in different parts of Mexico, but they're getting their Coronas, their cervezas on and enjoying some of that sun. So, Evan, welcome back to the other side of the mic, man. How's it feel?
It feels a little different, not going to lie. You know, I mean, periodically you'll hear me speak on this podcast, but yeah, literally this is my first time really co-hosting with you, Chris. And, you know, I really don't know what to expect. I don't know where it's going to go, but
it's the founders, man. It's the
founders
I know. Kicking this one off.
You know, it's just think how far we've come within a year, you know, like it's just cool how you remember I was in Vegas and you gave me you're on your drive back from Vegas to Seattle and you just had this idea and you just called me up and, you know, look where we're at now, you know, like we've gotten recognized by a few fans at T-Mobile Park, you know, we're about to launch our website and I've just had such a blast doing it. So, yeah, kudos to you, man, for thinking about this.
Hell yeah, man. Well, we got it. But hip, hip, Jorge. George Kirby, he had a hell of an outing today, which we needed. It was 7 days last Sunday since our last win. It's been a brutal week, brutal stretch, no doubt, but it's early. It's early in the season. Don't hop off the damn bandwagon. I know some people already have, especially in our group text, Evan.
Yeah, you're getting blown up there, Chris, with all that doubt and all that, but it's a long season.
It's a long season, man. And it's better to get a slump out early in the year compared to late in the year. And this happened last year, right? With this is like around the same time we had that stretch where like San Diego, we had that 3-game series where we were outscored like 36 to like 5. I don't know the exact numbers, but it was awful. And everybody thought we were dead in the water. But obviously that wasn't the case. We were fine. We ended up figuring whatever we needed to figure out. We got it done. And so, you know, it's early and we're still, you know, figuring some things out. But George Kirby, man, it was so much fun seeing him come up. You know, sorry, Matt Brash, that you had to, you know, go down. But George Kirby, he was the number 3 prospect for us M's, and he's the first player to throw 6+ scoreless innings in his debut in franchise history. That's the first player in Mariners franchise history. Total of 6 innings pitched, as it just said, only 4 hits, no runs, no walks, 7 Ks, and he had to finish with 81 pitches. But the no walks, that was sweet because 3 separate times he goes and falls behind at a 3-0 count, works his way back. And did he get a strikeout on each of those? I don't recall fully, but I don't know, man. The dude was looking dominant, and it's always harder for opposing teams to face somebody who they've never seen and has never had a track record in the MLB. So he was able to use that to his advantage. Dude, the dude looked like his heart rate was at like 30 beats per minute. He wasn't looking sweating at all. I mean, do you see that?
Yeah, well, I think it also helped that he had literally his own like cheering section. I think he said he had obviously his mom and dad were out there, but he also had 15 of his best friends that were just rooting on. And what's cool too, I was listening to 710 ESPN radio after the game, and Kirby was saying that these are all of his childhood friends growing up. So can you imagine, like, you know, you're just playing in the backyard and you're just mimicking like, oh, I'm being the MLB one day. And then one of your friends is literally just mowing these batters down too, as well. It's not like it wasn't like he was playing the Orioles or anything like that. I mean, the Rays got some bats and they've kind of lit us up these last few games before today's series, but I thought he handled it well. And I think we'll see. Obviously, you know, it's his first start, so a lot of teams don't really have the scouting report on him, but I don't know. I just feel like he has way more composure on the mound than maybe like a Matt Brash. Like I feel like Matt Brash was like, he's great. He's got some great stuff, but you know, I think I saw for a few of Brash's first starts, like he was walking a lot of batters and kind of getting into a lot of his pitch count was getting pretty high up. And for Kirby to just literally only throw 80 pitches, go 6 innings in his first outing. That's a really good sign, and to kind of have that kind of moment where it's your first big league start, but to contain those emotions and really settle in, I think is a really good sign that, this guy could really be a good contributor for us going forward.
Dude, 100%. And the shirt one of his buddies had on, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Apparently his mom came up with that idea way back when, and Kirby told his buddy, he's like, you better wear that shirt when you come to my first game. And he did it. He wore that shirt, and I need to get my paws on one of those, because I love the show. I love the show. Larry David is like the funniest guy in the world. And Curb Your Enthusiasm, I mean, George Kirby, it works perfectly. But that was sweet seeing his boys. I mean, all of his boys, like you said, massive amounts of them, like 15 plus, and just cheering him. And they were the ones chanting the hip, hip, Jorge, Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's also catchy. That could get made into a shirt real quick. Jorge, Jorge. I think that's how it's spelled. Would there be a over the E in Mexican spelling? Isn't there a mark? I don't know.
Yeah, there's like it's an accent. Yeah.
It's an accent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, that was sweet. That was sweet. I love that. It's catchy too. Hip hip hooray, Yeah,
I mean, they've been busting out so many shirts like at T-Mobile Park this year. I mean, remember they had the Electric Factory one, and that was just after a comment that Jesse Winker said in a post-game interview. And so I'm sure and Mariners Twitter has been killing it this year as far as just their content. Just they know their audience so well. I feel like the whole organization really like gets what the fans' perspective. And so if that Curb Your Enthusiasm thing keeps going forward, I could see them hopping on the bandwagon and want to get that merchandise out there and all that. So
I think we may have one of the best social media teams in the game.
Their videos are so they just get me so jacked, and it's only even just like one game, that they have, but the way they're able to just sell it. And and for me too, because I'm a producer, I do all this video editing behind the scenes and all that, and it's my job as well. So to see that production is just fascinating, and they hire the right guys. So I mean, it's a championship ball club that they're trying to build. Even from the field to even in the production department. So I'm all on board with it, man. So that's cool.
And before we forget, because we can't, but the fact that George Kirby was able to make his MLB debut, obviously with his parents in the stands, but most significantly his mother on Mother's Day on a beautiful Sunday with a pretty dang packed house at T-Mobile Park. There were lots of people there, but that's sweet. That's cool for a mom to see her baby, make his dream come true, have his dream come true on Mother's Day. She gets to see him absolutely dominate and shove it to the Rays. And I need to do something. I need to stop saying that we're another team's daddy, because we got swept by Houston, who I said we could potentially be their daddies after the first series. I jumped ahead too much there. That didn't work out. We got swept.
I think they're listening to Monday Mojo, and they caught on, and they're like, they cut a little video clip, they played it on their phone, and they kept replaying it, and they're like, all right, we got to shove it in this co-host Chris Sobba's face. And yeah, I don't know what's up with it, man. They just had our number, but yeah,
I don't know, man. And then we almost get swept by Tampa in a 4-game series, but thank God we squeezed this out. George Kirby, we've given you the kudos, but another man, Abe Toro, I really appreciate you, my guy. Second game in a row where he hits a bomb in the 9th inning. Saturday, that bomb didn't matter because we were already getting smoked. But today, it mattered very much. Today, it kept the game alive. Today, it helped us win the freaking game and take home the W. And that was awesome to see. In the 9th inning, he absolutely rips into one. It's on my screen right now. I've been watching it on replay for like 1,000 times. And his eyes, if you Lydia Cruz, she tweeted it out, and it was like a photo of his eyes looking at the ball, and he looks like he's staring like demon eyes through it. I don't know, but it was God dang it, Abe Toro. Did we win the trade? Did we win the Graveman trade? Yeah, we won the Graveman trade. I'll answer that right now. We won the Graveman trade. But that was great to see. And then of course, who else walks it off? I mean, of course it's Viva Ta France. And again, with they intentionally walked Frazier to get to Ty France in hopes of a grounding into a double play to end the extra inning and the 10th inning. But Ty France says, nah, and laces one down the left field line, man. And he knew it. Let's fucking go. And that was, you and I we were actually watching that game together. We're not sitting together right now, but thank God, man. I just couldn't bear another four-game sweep. That would suck.
At home too. That doesn't happen. We usually play some of our best ball at home as well. And so it was just very weird to see us kind of get dominated like that. But I don't know what, it just annoys me with all these Mariner fans on Twitter and even in our group chat are like, oh, the team is just, it's just another, it's the same old story and this and that. But think about it. They've played such a tough stretch of baseball, and they've had to go. Easier. Yeah, I know. They got the Phillies this week, but having to travel all the way from Seattle to Florida, I mean, that's a long trip, and the Marlins are decent, but the Rays they're always in the playoffs. They somehow seem to always dominate the AL East. And so they're no joke. And then it's just something about us playing in Houston, man, that I think I saw we've only had 4 wins in our last 35 games there, something like that. It's a ridiculous stat line.
Yeah, Houston's won 23 of 28.
Yeah, Houston's dude, it's so wild.
28 games we played them.
But I feel like, it was a rough homestand, but to get a win like that today and to come back like that as well, being down 1 run and not, showing that they're going to give up like that and to come back. Those are wins that can really, gel a team together, can kind of give them some more confidence going in. How you feel about the Phillies this week though? Because that's going to be a very tough series.
Well, before that, that's what I was thinking. What you were just touching on, there's those games that can break a bad streak. I thought that was going to be one of those games on Friday, when Jared Kelenic absolutely laced a 2-run homer, and then obviously Paul Stewart accidentally gave up a 3-run bomb, and we didn't win. But that game in itself, and that was the game where we took Austin and his daughter Amelia. Shout out to you guys, great having you at the game. They won the ticket contest, so shout out to them. But we had a phenomenal time. JP Crawford bobblehead night. I got that bobblehead sitting right behind me with my collection. It grew by 1 more bobblehead, which is great. But that was a hell of a game in itself. It sucked that we lost, but I mean, back and forth, we scored 7 runs. We hadn't been scoring runs in the prior 4, 5, 6 games. And so that was good to see the bats get on fire. But with Kelenic, man, he's pinch hitting. He comes in to pinch hit, and he absolutely lays into one. And the emotion, we've seen Kelenic be emotional on more often on the angry side, but when he's coming across home plate with J-Rod waiting for him with open arms, ready to hug the living shit out of him, he was ready to hug him like he hadn't seen him ever in 20 years or whatever. But that was the celebration, and everybody thought that game was over, that Paul Sewald, mailman, coming in to deliver a W. And obviously it didn't work out that way, but that was still a fun game. I gotta be honest, that was still
I just want to go back to that home run, because you were there, right, when it happened, what? Yeah. So yeah, I know Julio got on base, and were you expecting something special from Kelenic that, or
of course,
everything just I bet the whole stadium just was holy shit, what just happened right now? Because we haven't seen that from Kellen. We've seen flashes here and there, but for him to really deliver like that and live up to kind of being what we want him to be, and to see a flash of that, I mean, that must have got you jumping out of your seats and all that.
Oh, I was out of my seat, but I had to restrain myself for a minute because Abraham Toro, I think a couple times, maybe Luis Torrens as well, they hit some balls that I thought were gone from our seat and vantage point. I thought that these were going to be bombs, and each of those times I jumped out of my seat let's go, and then it got caught at the warning track, and then I'm and I sit back down all glum. But then when Kelenic does it, I'm kind of I'm starting to get out of my seat, but I'm getting out real slowly. I'm watching the ball, and then boom, it goes over the fence, and it was a low liner. It was a low liner that, I didn't know. It looked like it was going to go out, but 3 times I'd been proven wrong. And I was like, all right, don't try and call it too early this time. And yeah, we were good. I did though. Shout out to Eugenio Suarez as well during that game, because homeboy had 2 bombs. And Max, I'm bummed he's not on this because, I'm not, because he didn't hear me call it, but the fans in front of me, fans all around me did. I called it. I'm going, hey, guaranteed, Eugenio Suarez bomb right here, guaranteed. And then next pitch, bomb over the fence, left field. Everybody was going crazy. We were all loving it. That was in the existence. Speak it into existence. Amen, brother. And that was, I think that was in the first inning. But it was good, man. No, it was good.
To kind of add on to your it's funny how you're saying when Toro almost hit one out and you like were amped up and thought it would left the yard. I saw on Twitter, I don't know if you've seen it, but JP was in the dugout, and I don't know where the backstory that I would love to kind of hear more of the backstory behind this. But yeah, it just says Mariah Carey. Yeah, dude, like I love that enthusiasm from him, man, because he just, here's a guy who's been through a lot, and we'll obviously touch on, this huge upcoming series with his former team, the Phillies, that traded him away. But for him to like go through a lot of hardships, and then even his first few years with the Mariners, he was still trying to find his bat. But this year it seems like he's just playing so loose, and he's obviously doing a great job leading the clubhouse. But when you have a guy who's having fun like that, it makes you want to like be a part of that as well, and it kind of takes the pressure off as well. So I love what JP's doing, and that bat's still carrying along, man. It's just, who would have saw that coming, man? I think it's awesome, man. So shout out to JP for just bringing that positive and fun energy to the clubhouse.
And I don't think there's too much of a backstory behind him yelling Mariah Carey. He's just hoping the ball carries. Carry, right? Having the ball carried. And so he just, something funny. And I was saying that all day today at my sister's house. We were having Mother's Day brunch, and her boyfriend and I and my mom's boyfriend, we were all watching the game. All the ladies were in the other room. And every ball that was in, I was like, Mariah Carey. So now I'm saying Mariah Carey. I'm going to say it every time. It's going to be stuck in my head.
Might be a shirt maybe made out of that soon, maybe. Who knows? Can you imagine like have Mariah Carey have like her face or something like that at T-Mobile Park? I don't know. It's just like, I just think it's fun that this team, the way they just say unique, quirky things like that.
This team just gotta love it. Shit. This team's fun as shit, man. It's everybody loves everybody on the team. All of us fans, most of us love everybody on the team. But you're saying it best. It's just a great squad that we got, and JP Crawford is the leader. He's the leader of that camaraderie, or one of them at least. And he's day to day right now. But yeah, as you were saying, I hope to God he's okay for all these 3 games coming up against Philly, because it's a little revenge tour. People like to play against their old team. There's no doubt about it. And where JP Crawford, he struggled mightily with Philly. He just couldn't figure it out. He was, I forget exactly where he was drafted, but he was a top draft pick, top prospect for him. And he just never panned out for them. And, sometimes you get that change of scenery. He comes over to Seattle. We give them Gene Segura, who he's still doing well. But JP Crawford's having a year he's never had, at least a start to a year that he ain't never had. And we're fortunate enough to be on the receiving side of that. But hope to God that he's okay tomorrow, that he can get in. We've been seeing guys dive head first to first base a number of times this year. And this is the first time where it's not working out well. And that was in like the 5th inning, right? He got taken out. Dylan Moore came in to replace him.
Yeah, it was like, I think the bases were loaded, and I don't know if we were tied or if we were maybe down a run, but it was a crucial at bat. And you just could tell that JP really he was going to do whatever he could to be safe. And so do you think sliding slide head first really does make a difference compared to running it out? I don't know. I've been a little like, because then you got to kind of like, I feel like it takes away your momentum a little bit.
You slide into second base, you slide into home, you slide into third. I wouldn't think that it makes such a massive difference. And it's not like you have to slide and hang on to the base. It's like sliding into home. All you have to do is touch it. Right. And so I don't know. Like I hear people like always be like Jen Mueller, she was talking about like, oh, don't slide head first. Angie Mente, don't slide head first. You're going to get hurt. And they're all like being super cautious about it. And I'm like, I kind of understand why you're being cautious, but then I kind of don't. I'm like, you slide into literally every other base. So we need to get an expert on here to tell us why it's so much more unsafe. I just don't understand it. I don't know. But I saw an interesting tweet earlier today that Mike Cameron replied to. And this guy, Tom House, he's got the blue check mark, so he must be legit. But he had a really good, really, really, really good idea. So with what's going on with pitchers and catchers this year, to help prevent sign stealing, we're using PitchCom, as we all know. They got the earpiece and they're telling the pitches that they're going to throw to the catcher and the pitcher. They're communicating, right? And so that way they're not doing the numbers and whatnot. But this guy, Tom House, he tweets, the biggest change PitchCom could bring is the end of pitchers crossing up umpires. Put the earpiece in the umpire's ear so they know what's coming, and it will help umpires make better calls with more confidence. That is a really, really good idea, because if they know that a nasty slider is going to be coming and they can obviously see where the catcher's setting up, or a curveball, fastball, whatever it's going to be, they're going to know. And so, Tom House, you may have the idea of the year, my brother. So hopefully we can get MLB to maybe see that tweet. I don't know. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I just think just in general with umpiring, it's just been such it's just feel like everything's been boiling up this year, and you're seeing it with I'm going to kind of go a bit more on the controversial strikeouts and all that. As far as like, I mean, you're seeing players get really ramped up over and there's been some terrible calls. Like, you saw that with JP against Houston. He got rung up, and it was so way out of the zone and all that. And then also I was listening to, I think it was the Rich Eisen show. And remember when Kyle Schwarber got rung up for that terrible call at Angel Hernandez? Yeah, they scored Angel Hernandez score for that game. Like his overall rating was a 96. Isn't that wild? Like, dude, and so what's the standard?
That they grade on they have a different strike zone than what's on the EQC tracer, or what's on the strike zone on the Game Time, not the Game Time app, but the MLB app when you're under the Game Time section. And they say oh yeah, our strike zone's different. It's like, you guys don't have a legit strike zone set in place. Like, yeah, of course you're going to say your umpires are doing a great job. Of course you're going to say that. But yeah, like you said it, like JP, he blew up at the umpire in Houston for that terrible third strike 3 call. And he was saying, like JP said, he hates to get out of his zone like that and yelling. But at the same time, he was saying umpires, they need to be held accountable, and they need to get penalized for their mistakes like players do. Players are getting paid more based or less based off of the numbers that they produce for the entirety of the season. And if you're not grading umpires, like we've talked about this on the show before, they need to have a quota or whatever it may be. Like we were saying with salespeople, I have a quota that I have to hit every single month. It's a target, and I have to hit that quota. And if I weren't hitting that quota, we had a guy on my team, he wasn't hitting his quota, he got let go. People get fired if they don't hit their quota. And so that's what needs to happen with this. They need to, set in stone what the strike zone is, so that everybody's on the same damn page, and not one umpire can have a different strike zone than a different umpire based off of however they're feeling that day, or based off of who's on the mound. Like, I forget who the umpire was, but I remember there was Clayton Kershaw versus another ace. And the umpire said before the game, he's like, going to be a pitcher's duel today, going to be a tight strike zone. And he knew going in, or not a tight strike zone, going to be a big strike zone. We got these aces on the mound. So he's like, yeah, we have these dominant pitchers on the mound. So no, I'm going to expand the strike zone a little bit. It's going to be a pitcher's duel. It's like, how can you do that?
I don't know. And it's you see when you're watching the game on TV, you see they have that strike zone,
the EQC.
And yeah, and that looks very as fair and standard as possible. So why can't you just go off of that? And what also I also, just for talking about umpires, I want to bring this up. It doesn't have to do anything with the Mariners, but I thought this was so wild. Watching Madison Bumgarner get tossed, where that umpire literally umpire was intentionally trying to get Madison Bumgarner thrown out of the game, because literally all Madison Bumgarner did was he walked up to this umpire, and this umpire literally touches Bumgarner's hand and starts dabbling on his fingers. So then of course Bumgarner is going to be like, dude, what are you doing? And then Bumgarner is a hothead type of pitcher. So And I think this umpire might have had it out for him. And it's like, you can't it's your job. Like, you shouldn't be able to go into these games like having like mini grudges, and you're gonna, just because you're the umpire, you feel like you have all the power in the world. And nobody wants to see a guy like Madison Bumgarner get tossed out like that. And then I think that was in the second inning that happened too. So then you're giving Arizona has to drain their whole bullpen. So that affects their team going forward. And it's just like, these umpires definitely need to be held more accountable, in our opinion, for sure. But I used to be an old school fan, be like, oh no, the game needs to stay, it needs to be what it is. It's been long for so many years as far as like having a home plate umpire. But with the amount of terrible calls we've seen this year and just how much it's really affected games, like, I'm on board with the robot umpires. I know it's going to take a minute before we get there, but I'm just not seeing anything that's making me want to keep these human home plate umpires calling these games, because it's just going to get worse and worse, in my opinion. But we'll see.
And with Bumgarner, like, he didn't only touch his hand, like, he was straight up holding his hand for like 10 seconds. Like, it was, and he wasn't, the thing was, he wasn't looking at his hand. Like, Bumgarner wasn't looking at the ump, but the ump was looking dead into Bumgarner's eyes, and he's not even looking at his hand. He's just holding and rubbing his hand. Yeah. And then Bumgarner's like, what are you doing? Like, in every single other time, you like, when it first happened, when they were first checking for substances, they'd open the belt, they'd rub their hands, they'd check their glove. But now you see it, the umpire goes up to the pitcher, brushes their hand, and off they go. And that's what happened with the opposing pitcher for Bumgarner. But then Bumgarner gets his hand just freaking caressed, and he was pissed, and he gets thrown out. And like you said, that goes so far in the second inning. I didn't know it was in the second inning. In the second inning,
it was early on.
And so then for 8 more innings, or nope, for 7 more innings. There's 9 innings in baseball. Math is tight. For 7 more innings, it's the bullpen. You hand the day off to the bullpen, and it's just like, dude, that carries over to the next game as well. And umpires, they got a power trip, man. Some of them got a power trip where they want to be king of the castle. They want everything to go their way. If you're going to feed any shit to them, they're going to feed it right back to you and tenfold it. It's an abuse of power. It's an abuse of power that I don't know how the MLB could be on board with it, man. Like, it's ridiculous.
Well, it's Manfred, leading the scene, and it's just something about these umpires just need to be held accountable. Once they know that they're going to be penalized, or maybe they're going to, get fined or something like that, then they'll be on board to want to do their jobs. But, for now, if they're going to get 96s for calling just terrible strikes and all that, then, they're going to just take advantage of that going forward and all that. But, we'll see where it goes with that. But, what's your now I guess we can switch gears, since we kind of talking about the Phillies. What's your outlook with them, with the Mariners facing off against them this week? It's gonna be a big series. I think Nola's coming on Tuesday. This is gonna be a major challenge.
Yeah, so the good news is today the Phillies and the Mets had a doubleheader, and we're back to 9-inning doubleheaders this year, no 7-inning doubleheaders. So the Phillies, hopefully, they're going to be a little bit tired. They're flying from the East Coast to the West Coast to play us starting tomorrow. And so, I don't know, that's some advantage we're going to try and find here. But I'm just excited to see, like, hopefully, like I was saying earlier, that JP Crawford can be in, because you want to see him be able to have a revenge tour. You want to see him be able to go off against his former team. And I'm not going to make any predictions, because each time I've been making a prediction lately this year, it's slapped me in the face and made me look like a dumbass. So I don't want that to happen. But I'm just going to be getting off work every single day, sitting my butt on my couch and praying to God the Mariners can do some crazy shit that day. Take it one day at a time. I'm going to be as cliche as I can. One day at a time, one pitch at a time, one inning at a time, and just have our boys do their thing. And with Kelenic after the Phillies, we got 2 revenge tours this week, ladies and gentlemen. First, as we just touched on, JP Crawford and Philadelphia Phillies. And then number 2, Jared Kelenic and the New York Mets. So Jared Kelenic, who's been looking a little bit better as of lately, he's been much, much, much more calm when he is striking out, when he's popping up. I haven't seen him in a week or 2 weeks at minimum, get extremely upset. You've just seen his enthusiasm on the positive plays, and his defense in the outfield is still on point. He was saying he's now at the point where he is begging players to try and take a bag on them because he's so damn confident in his ability to throw them out. And that's what you want as a defender. And if you're a guy that's not being able to produce on the offensive side, and if you can start making plays in the outfield on the defensive side, hosing guys out, diving catches, whatever it may be, as long as you're making plays on the defensive side of things, that will give you confidence mid-game. That'll give you confidence somewhere where that could translate and transition over to the offensive side. And if he can just keep staying patient, keep waiting for his pitch, and keep hitting home runs when he pitch hits, I mean, that's what we're going to hopefully see here in this next week coming up with New York. So that's what I'm most excited about this week, is we get the opportunity for 2 revenge tours, and hopefully that these boys can stick it to them. And another fun little nugget is Stephen Cohen doesn't give a damn about $40 million, because he threw that down the drain when he DFA'd Robinson Cano 6 days ago. Robinson Cano, he was not producing for the New York Mets, and they said, screw it. We don't care about this $40 million. We're still going to have to pay you over the next 2 years. We're dropping you, and we're going to get somebody else who can do better, because I haven't been paying so much attention to it, but that's what I was reading earlier this week. And so that's a little interesting. I would say, also won that trade, even though we don't have Justin Dunn anymore. You got to remember, he came in that trade with Edwin Diaz and Cano going to New York. We got Kelenic and Dunn in return. Kelenic is hopefully going to come around and continue, getting better and better each and every day. But Justin Dunn, he's now with Cincinnati, and he's one of the reasons we now have Eugenio Suarez and Jesse Winker. So that's a good thing as well. And also Jesse Winker, before we forget the game I was at on Friday night, uncharacteristic of him, because he's been hitting the ball hard all year, but he hit 2 identical doubles down the left field line where they were, soft, not bloopers, but soft line drives that just trickled into the not quite the corner, but onto the left side of the outfield, where he was able to get to second base each time and hit a double. So that was great to see. But with that trade, we won that one too. We won that one too, because Justin Dunn got us those 2 guys I just spoke of, and we obviously have Kelenic. I was nervous about Kelenic. I've been nervous about Kelenic. Everybody's like, oh my God, is this the next Dustin Ackley? But Joe Doyle, when we had him on a while back, we brought up Dustin Ackley, and he had said he will go to his grave saying that the Seattle Mariners ruined Dustin Ackley. Not this Seattle Mariners, not the Jerry DiPoto Seattle Mariners, the previous Seattle Mariners. And when they brought him up much too early, and they just didn't have a legitimate curriculum, a legitimate training system. But we've had that legitimate curriculum with Jerry DiPoto and company. And we've had that with Kelenic coming through the system, and we're continuing to develop him. I do not ever want to see people say, stop saying it. Just stop saying it. He's not the next Dustin Ackley. He's going to turn this shit around. Be positive. Half is glass. Glass is half full. Don't be half empty.
That's what we are on this podcast as well. And with Kelenic, he's, to be honest, like, he hasn't even played a full season in the MLB yet. And the guy's only 21, 22 years old too. So he's still figuring it out. And he had a shortened, didn't have as many reps in the minor leagues. And so he's still learning it. But you can see he's trying to adjust, and he's trying to make adjustments, whether it's through his stance. And I don't think he's chasing as much as he was last season. He's been more disciplined at the plate. There's been a few just balls that haven't gone his way, but he just seems like a guy who just wants to get better, and he has all the confidence in the world. He thinks he's the shit. And so you have that already, which is good. But I think, it's you see those flashes, like that home run on Friday. Like, I think it'll happen. You just got to be, us Mariners fans, we've just got to be patient. And I think it's good to keep him, give him the reps and all that. But what I'm curious though, like once Kalu gets back, we'll touch on Kalu in a little bit. But what do you, and then say Mitch comes back too, like, what do you do with Kelenic? Do you still stick him in right field, or what, because it's going to be a bit of a tough decision right there for Service to make.
Yeah, it is. Kalu's obviously going to have to get his reps in to see, where he's at. But no, we can touch on Kalu real quick while I open this.
Shout out Kalu, man. He's just been killing it in the minor leagues.
He made his AAA debut this week. He had never played a game. He made the jump from 2A Arkansas to the major league. So he had never played for Tacoma. He makes it in his first at bat in Tacoma on a 1-1 count. In his first swing, he didn't swing at the first 2 pitches. His first swing, he smacks. It went. How far did it go? Like
464 feet. Yeah.
I'm sorry. How much?
464 feet.
That's a lot of feet.
Bomb, baby.
That's a lot of feet. Oh my goodness.
He smoked that to let. Yeah, he knew it too right off the bat. And the thing about, I don't know if you noticed about Kyle Lewis, but there's a certain sound that comes off his bat. It's a lot different than what I've like from other players, but when he connects, man, like you just know it's like a no doubter. And I love it, man, because when he hits it, he does that little like fast flip of the bat, and it's just, I got his jersey, man. I'm just like, I was a little nervous because I even last year, I remember you were telling me like, I don't know, man, you never know about Kyle Lewis because we have all this talent and all that. But if he hits like that, man, and like with the struggles the Mariners have had on offense, like it's a bolt of energy on offense they could really use. And I want him back so badly. I want to see him back. So it's a really good sign that he's his physical therapy is going well from that injury. It seems like he's there. And what's cool about them, what's good about the Mariners is I think they're gonna, because obviously I want them to call him up, tomorrow, but I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna give him a few weeks to really make sure that that knee is good and that it's gonna hold up for the season. And so I don't think they're gonna try to rush him back, which is a good thing. But
it's a great thing. Yeah,
great thing.
Jerry Dipoto said on the Jerry Dipoto show earlier this week that 2.5 to 3 weeks is kind of the time frame that they're hoping to give him. They don't have an exact number of at bats that they want him to have, but 2.5 to 3 weeks is what he was saying. So potentially, this month, which is kind of what we were saying on the last show, is what we would expect, about this month. So when he comes back, I think we'll see less of Tom Murphy and Luis Torrens going back and forth to that DH position, and we'll just have one catcher for the game, and the other catcher will be on the pine, right in the bench. And then we can utilize the DH position for the outfielders to kind of rotate there, especially with Kalu, and now especially with Mitch Haniger. They're going to want to take Mitch Haniger's ankle. They're not going to want that to, get hurt again, which sucked. But then with Kalu, they're going to want to make sure he doesn't get rushed in. So I expect him to be in DH a decent amount. And Kelenic looks comfortable in right field, man. I don't know. Julio's got center field on lock. Damn it. Finally, MLB The Show. You heard me. Last episode, I was bitching at you, MLB The Show, because Julio was at a 54 speed. After the game that Evan and I watched together today, we decided to play MLB The Show. And obviously I played as the Mariners, my house, my rules. I got to play as them. But he had a 98 speed. He goes from 54 to 98. About damn.
I was surprised to see that. I was thinking maybe 80, but 98, man. And the dude's been backing it up though. Has he? I think he's been caught stealing once this season. He
got caught stealing once, and he got picked off once. He's 9 for 10.
But still, man, like, yeah, that speed. And what I love about Julio too is when he hits like a very contested ground ball, and if he beats it out, he'll like throw out his hands. Yeah, he always does that, man. Yeah. That just shows like how into the game he like gets in. I think he did that on Friday night before Kelenic hit his bomb as well. So shout out Julio, man, for that speed. And you need that for a center fielder as well. I mean, he's made some really crucial catches, even against Houston. Remember that one where he was blowing a bubble, a piece of gum, and he slid and got that. And so like, he's just been making catches like that all season. And I remember, shout out my guy, Chris Egan, because he said like, you're going to need a guy like Julio to make those kinds of plays and center field for this team and all that. And so now we just need him to hit some bombs. Like it'll come through. He's still learning the ropes and all that, but he's just such a fun player to have on our team.
He's so much fun. And one thing that you just reminded me of, I don't know how, but Dylan Moore with JP Crawford going out yesterday on Saturday, and Dylan Moore coming in to play shortstop. Before the season, people were pissed. They were like, why is Dylan Moore not in AAA? We need Billy Hamilton. Like, because, my argument was the wheels, right? The speed. You need speed on a team. And Billy Hamilton, he's got the speed. He's got the defense in the outfield. But Dylan Moore's a utility guy. And what if we had Billy Hamilton up today or yesterday and not Dylan Moore? Who are we putting at shortstop? We want to put Eugenio Suarez at shortstop or Abraham Toro? No, we don't. And so Dylan Moore, he's a damn good defender. And his bat, he's putting together good at-bats. If we're not being able to be at the plate as often as he would like, because he's a utility guy, he's not an everyday starter, not even close to it. That's okay. He's not going to get as many plate appearances. And so it's going to be much more difficult to get yourself in a rhythm, get yourself in a groove. And that's tough. So you got to feel for the guy there, but he's been putting together good ABs. God dang it. I thought he went yard today. He had almost what I thought was an Oppo taco bomb, but it wasn't. I don't know. I like what I'm seeing from Dylan Moore, and you got to have a guy like that can play not only outfield, also infield if somebody goes down, as that happened, and he's got wheels. So, I just hate seeing people slander my guy, Demo, because I love Demo. I want him to succeed really, really bad, as I'm sure everybody else wants him to, but chill on the hate. That's what I'm saying about Demo.
You love those, is it the Fred Flintstone, the way he runs too? Yeah,
man, he gets himself out of that box so quick.
Oh yeah, no, I think you just need a guy who can do it all. And he said going into spring training that's the big thing he's wanted to work on is his hitting this year. And so he's seen some flashes here and there. I think he had a nice RBI single again. I think it was Friday when he went to that game. But and then I think he got robbed twice against the Rays on Sunday, because I think there was one where he almost hit one out to the beer garden, and that center fielder made a pretty ridiculous catch. I think he was like literally like sitting down or something like that, and like I don't know how he made that catch.
He almost overran it. And then he had to slide and like reach back and catch it. It was hats off to him. It was a good catch. But I thought that one was gone too. And I was like, dang it.
Yeah. So
we're not catching any breaks. But it's freaking May 8th. It's still cold in Seattle. Give us 15 more days, give us 20 more days when the weather starts to get the air starts to get more summer friendly. I don't know the terminology behind it. But the balls are going to start carrying. The balls are going to start carrying more. You'll see those balls that Jesse Winker wasn't hitting out, those will start carrying, and those will getting out. Those will start Mariah carrying, and they'll start getting out. So just wait till the weather gets a little bit warmer. The balls will start traveling. They'll start flying over those fences in T-Mobile Park, and we'll start scoring more of those points, because you need more points than the other team to win the game. And that's what's gonna. I foresee that happening.
I think also it's going to help with Robbie Ray too, with his velocity, kind of pitching in warmer weather as well. I've kind of noticed because I think it might have been Thursday, it was like still like in the mid 40s or whatever. And like the guy, and I think he was only throwing maybe like between 93 miles per hour. But I feel like once the summer heat gets rolling around, I think that velocity can pick up a little bit more. I'd like to see some more consistency out of him. I know it's early on, but I think the weather will have some aspect of that. What are you seeing on Ray so far?
Yeah, I want him to be better. I know, like I've said, like, you can't expect the Cy Young to have an identical season the next year, because they had such a phenomenal year the prior year. It's just impossible to mirror that. But he's just not mirroring it as much as I would like him to. So, I'm not going to jump to any conclusions. This ain't, you ever seen Office Space? You never seen Office Space?
Take a guess. Do you think I have?
No.
No, my you know me, my movie game / TV show game is so bad. And
there was a guy in Office Space, and he had an idea. It was a jump to conclusions mat, and essentially you'd be like at a crossroads, and you would jump to a conclusion that was on this mat. Anyways, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, I just don't want to jump to conclusions here with Robbie Ray. Let's give him some more time. He's going to be in the second game against Philly. We got Flexen starting tomorrow, and then we'll have Robbie Ray Day. And I think that's not the matinee. Matinee will be on Wednesday. Okay. But I don't know. We'll see. I want to see the velo climb, dude. The velo is just not where I always thought he'd be like 97, 96, high up there. He's like 92, 93. And so I don't know, maybe my expectations.
I think the cold weather has something to do with it. I'm pretty sure. I mean,
I hope
he's kind of had some
it.
tough rate. Yeah, I think hopefully, man. Because he's a strikeout machine. I mean, he's especially during his I had him on my fantasy team last year when he had his Cy Young season. The dude was literally averaging like 10 strikeouts a game. And so we haven't really seen that yet from him, but it's still early. That's going to be the theme of, this episode. It's still early, Mariners fans, so don't need to hit the panic button yet. Don't need to give my guy Chris shit in our group chats as well. You know who you are if you're listening to this as well.
God damn, they are all over me.
Yeah, dude.
Leave me alone.
Yeah. No, and why send all that hate, man? And I just can't wait till, just give them, next month, and then as the season gets, as it gets closer to September, all these people are gonna be like, oh my gosh, the Mariners, they're so legit, and this
Chris,
and that.
we're so right.
Yeah. So I just can't wait till we get the last laugh on this. And yeah.
Another thing I want to see. So with Matt Brash going down, he not only went back down to AAA, but he's got a new role. He's going to be coming out of the pen, and he's not going to be starting. And damn, I am not mad about that call. I think that could be a very, very valuable lesson. You got to remember, Edwin Diaz, he was a starter converted to closer. Look where he's at. Look what he's doing with New York. He's actually having a pretty damn good year. I think New York absolutely loves him. He's had some roller coasters, but that's going to happen. But if Matt Brash, man, we can get George Kirby doing his thing, the rest of our guys to do their thing. Emerson Hancock, get him to be uninjured whenever that happens. And then we got Matt Brash. Maybe we make a trade before the deadline and get another nasty pitcher. I don't know. But we have Matt Brash coming out of the bullpen. That is a weapon. That's a weapon that you could get pretty messed up if you're the other team.
Oh yeah, with this stuff too. And that's the thing is just something about him on the mound is he's got that confidence where he wants to come in and he wants to do whatever he can to help this team. And so I think it might take the pressure off him a little bit just coming out of the bullpen. And I love his stuff so much, man, that you really got to try to find a way to utilize that. And if we're really trying to make a playoff run this year, then you got to do what you can. So I'm on board with it. I think it's good, especially if Kirby, continues to pan out. I think if he can solidify that fifth starter role, and then, even Marco's been kind of holding it down a little bit. I don't know how I saw the Rays kind of lit him up a little bit on Saturday, but besides that, being in Houston, he looked decent. So it's just the bullpen. If we can have another flame throwing arm with a bunch of nasty stuff like Munoz coming out of the bullpen, I think that makes a huge difference and helps us, especially when we, need to protect those close games like that. I think it's a good move and something that we should hopefully go towards. So.
Yeah, man, it could be a great play. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm not leaving my Matt Brash hype train. No, sir. He's still nasty. He's still got that nasty stuff. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, I'm just so happy we didn't lose today. Just so happy we didn't lose. We finally got one. It's been
so depressing, man, for this talk about us getting swept at home like that. But no, not going to do that. We're going to end on a walk-off, which is good. So hopefully this sets us up going into this week. Man, if we could just take 2 of 3 from the Phillies, I think the Mets, I haven't really been following the Mets. I know they have Lindor, but I think that's a pretty winnable series.
Yeah, I'll get you.
I saw a little hesitancy in that.
I am very hesitant. Oh, as I'm pulling up my phone, I did the math on this to sidetrack for a second. Kyle Lewis's home run went 5,568 inches, if anybody was wondering. So that makes it sound like it went a lot further than 464 feet, but 464 times 12 is 5,568. So that's a whole lot of inches.
Look at Chris doing math here. Here we go.
It's on my telly too. But no, dude, the Mets are nasty. The Mets are like one of the best teams in the league, and they're sitting at a kosher 20-10 record. So
wow, dude.
Yeah,
never mind.
Yeah.
I take that back. Jeez, man, what is up with this? With MLB just like kicking us in the ass with this like early stretch, but at least we're getting it out of the way, and then hopefully we get an easy stretch where we can kind of pile on some lesser teams, but man,
it's just stupid, man. They had us going. No, they had us going to Tampa Bay and then Miami, and then we come home, and then we go to New York, Toronto, and Boston. It's like that's so much traveling. And then after our next home series, we go to Baltimore. It's like figure out the mapping of these series and get them in a closer location so that when they do these trips, I mean, I get it. You're not going to have a month-long road trip. Obviously, you have to come back home. I get it. But like, freaking spread it out, man. Spread it out. So I don't know. Maybe it's just the Pacific Northwest and we're just so far away from everybody else. That's what it is. I know. But I don't know. Just do a better job so we don't have to travel as much. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. But yeah, no, definitely a little bit nervous about the New York Mets if I'm being honest. But it gives Kelenic the chance to be hero. Let's have Kelenic play hero. I'm calling it this week. Damn it. I know I said I wasn't going to make predictions, but I'm going to do it anyways. JP Crawford is going to go off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Jared Kelenic is going to go off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They're going to take it to their old teams, and they're going to shove it and hit some bombs. Maybe JP hits a bomb. I'm going to need him to hit a bomb because I need that over to hit the 18 homers on the year because we made that bet. It's for those who didn't hear that bet. We did an over under of JP Crawford home runs total for the season. Zweifel set that at 17.5 because Zweifel thinks that JP will hit 17 home runs. I took the over because life is too short to bet the under. So hammer the over every time you get the chance. And that's what I did. So hopefully JP can hit a homer or two this next series. And then, yeah, Kelenic go off. But that's what I'm calling. I'm calling those two. It's going to be their week. They're going to have a lot of fun. Ty France will continue to do Ty France because Ty France is Ty France, and we love him. And then, yeah, let's have our boys, get on. This is what we needed. I know I wanted it on Friday. I know I wanted that to be the game where we turn around this little losing streak that we were on. Didn't happen. It got worse, and then we lost the next day. But we didn't lose today. And today is when we start that run of playing really good baseball. We're going to be back. The boys are going to do their thing, and I'm excited. So don't freaking get your panties in a wad and freak out over the M's. It's like we were saying, it's early. There's so much season left. It's a freaking marathon. We're like not even a sixth of the way through the season. Maybe we're like exactly at a sixth of the way through the season. There's so much baseball left. So hang on and have some fun. Enjoy the ride. What else you got, Evan? You got anything else to talk about?
I don't know. I think we pretty much covered it all, but I actually just want to I think to wrap it up here, I just want to say thank you to all the listeners and everybody that was that really put their name out there for wanting to be involved with this JP Crawford bobblehead giveaway. And, I think we got some new listeners and some new subscribers out of it. For those new subscribers, you probably made one of the best decisions of your life. Sign up for this podcast because we were just getting started with what we're going to do. Shout out to Hobbs for hooking us up with the tickets. We're going to do more ticket giveaways and stuff like that going forward. So this isn't the only one, so stay tuned and keep listening to us for that. I also want to say, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and also, rate us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, because, it might be one little thing. It might be a small thing, but it really does go a long way to helping us launch our brand in this podcast. And we want to just try to create as big of a platform as possible. So keep supporting us, tell your friends, tell all these Mariners fans that to get on board because it's just going to be a fun ride and a lot of stuff that you don't want to miss out on. And so I just want to, give a shout out to our listeners and for all the support. So
I echo all of that. And Schwabi ran into one of our listeners at the game on Friday. I unfortunately stayed at my seats, but he told me he ran into Skylar Cloth. And Skylar, shout out to you because he said that you've are religiously listening to Monday Mojo every single episode, and you had some feedback. I love it. We love the feedback. Skylar wants questions from the dugout. He wants more of that. And so Skylar, I put the ball in your court, my guy. Hit us up. What do you got? I'm pissed Schwabi didn't follow up, asked you, as you told him, that you wanted questions from the dugout. Schwabi should have said, okay, what's your question? We could have brought that onto today's show. But let's do that next week, Skylar. So hit us up. Let's get some. That goes to everybody else as well. Hit us up on Insta, Twitter, YouTube. I don't care, wherever. And let us know what kind of questions you want to answer. They don't have to be baseball related. They can be anything. I don't give a damn what it's about. But let us know. I would love to get some of that fan engagement. We want to hear from you people. So let us know.
we'll get it going for sure. And I think we can put some more social media posts about it and all that. But and then maybe I just am so. I saw that one comment we had a few weeks ago where that one guy is like, "You're gonna bring back picks to hits," and like, I know that's your baby. It is just funny.
Yeah. I got 2 picks to hit this week. JP Crawford, Jared Kelnick.
Do you want to do a pick to hit? I mean, might as well. I mean, why not? Let's do a pick. Let's do a pick to hit. Oh yeah, okay. So you are you going 2 this week?
I guess let's do because I was preaching about that a couple minutes ago. So I'll pick 2. I'll pick 2. My 2 is JP Crawford and Jared Kelnick.
Okay, I'm gonna go Jesse Winker for one of them for me because I feel like he finally got his first home run as a Mariner, got that out of the way, and I like the way he's been swinging the bat too. And I feel like he's been a little bit more patient at the plate and hasn't. You like to see that fire from him when he doesn't get it, but at the same time, I feel like he's really starting to, be patient and trust the process. So I could see him hitting a few bombs this week. And then I've known for kind of going out of the blue and nobody expects my picks and they somehow pan out. So I'm trying to think of another player who could just because I hate going with like the obvious one.
Well, hold on. Because I was about to, before you don't go with an obvious one, I was going to say we can make this a little bit more interesting since it's just you and I doing it. Let's throw $20 on it.
Okay. Yeah. Another live bet on here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You're on. Okay. Right. So are we doing total, so your 2 players combined? Yeah.
So the way we'll score this is we're going to go off of ESPN's fantasy numbers and the total numbers that they produce. We'll add the 2 up. So JP Crawford for me and Jared Kelnick for me combined. And then for you, Jesse Winker and.
Okay. Now that money's on the line, I got to be a little more selective here. So I'm going to go. I'm going to go Adam Frazier, actually. Yeah. I think.
All right. That's locked in. Yeah. I don't know why you won't go with Ty France, but okay.
No, dude. Frazier's had a good couple at bats here. He had that bomb earlier. Last week,
went 2 for 13 on the road last road trip.
Hey, that's the past, bro. That's the past. It's the past, dude. I like his bat. I think I could see Frazier. I could see him having a good week. So I'm gonna go Frazier and Winker. And you heard it here first, man. I can't wait to take that $20, just like I whooped your ass and will be the show earlier today. So I'm just gonna throw out there that for the listeners. I know we brought that up, but I got your number, Chris. I got your number.
And I'm throwing a chair to Zweifel's buddies. I think Sean Mahoney, I think you're one of them that you weren't a fan of pick to hit. So sit your ass down, Sean. I'm throwing you a chair because we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back with a little twist, with some dollars on the line. So maybe
that's how we should do. We should do live betting on our picks to hits. Why not? Yeah. I think that'd be very fun to do.
And then we don't have to just go. Then we won't have it be like a season long score. We can just have it be a week by week score where the winner gets $20 from everybody else each week.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think Schwabi and Zweifel could be on board with that.
You would have made a lot of money last year, dude.
Dude, I know. I remember
you crushed it last year.
I know. I think I said Shed Long was gonna kill it, and you guys are like, "Holy shit, what are you talking about?" And then I think he had a grand slam and all that.
There's a name I forgot existed.
Where is Shed Long playing? Do you know where he's playing?
I don't think
I know he got released or something like that.
Shed Long Jr. Let's see what Google tells me. Baltimore Orioles. I hope you're having fun. Baltimore Orioles are not the worst team in the AL East. The worst team in the AL East right now is the Red Sox.
Dude, I love Jared Kirby on easy from Barstool or DraftKings now. He's just this diehard Red Sox fan, and he's just like, I hate my life. I never know the Sox could be this bad, and just hilarious.
Yeah, Jared, I got zero sympathy for you. Try living a life as a Mariners fan. Yeah. Zero sympathy, but okay. Shed Long, yeah, random to hear that name.
Well, you guys learned something today if you're listening to this episode that Shed Long plays for the Orioles. But
and well, maybe they already knew that. Probably I don't know. But last episode we were talking about the baseballs being different, and our boy Zach Hobbs, who he's worked for the Mariners previously, he was like a bat boy for a number of years, but he texted us this on Instagram, and it was in regards to the baseballs being different and the process that goes through them, each day. But he goes, the baseballs are rubbed usually by the home side bullpen catcher, It used to be the umpire clubby, but they don't trust them to get the right texture. Also, the darkness of the ball, based on the amount of mud rubbed in, is a huge factor lately. Like before the Rangers' first game in April, the umps looked through all the balls and literally threw out every ball, but about 15 or so. So they had to re-rub a bunch mid-game. And laces for the ball this year are definitely more shallow, aka so the pitchers can't get good grip on them. And lots of pitchers, they're super pissed. They're mad about that. And that's and they're mad about it and how often the balls are changing mid-game. And so that's where you see Chris Bassett going off the other week about that. But little insider knowledge, Hobbs, we appreciate you. We're going to be coming at you with more insight when we need more insider knowledge because you are our guy. But yeah, so more nuggets for you there. But shoot, all right. Well, hey, everybody, let's end this on a positive note. The Mariners won on Sunday, May 8th, on Mother's Day, giving our Seattle moms something to cheer about. Hats off to everybody who went to the game because that stadium was pretty well packed today for a Sunday, especially on Mother's Day. I think it's always pretty big on Mother's Day, but just hats off to them. But we're starting a new streak, not a losing streak. We're going to be starting a winning streak. Maybe it won't be a streak, but let's just win the series by series, day by day. Just win the day, and that's going to start a good run, a good string of good runs. So that's what I got. Thanks again for listening to another episode of Monday Mojo. Shohei Ohtani, Evan Barron. Way to be a dual threat, my guy.
How'd I do? Did I do a good job for my debut as being a co-host? Yeah, I think it was fun, man. It was just shooting the shit like goal times, and yeah, I think I might have to give Max and Zweifel run for their money now, but we'll see.
Yeah,
but
hey,
no.
if you guys let us know which one we should replace Evan with, and then we'll just kick the other one off the show forever.
But no, it's been good. It's been good. Appreciate you guys all listening, and let's just get them this week. And yeah, we'll get back to our winning ways, and don't hit the panic button yet. You know, I think we're gonna come on a good stretch here. So
let's go, JP Crawford. Let's go, Jared Kelenic. Wins the money. That's all. Go Mariners.